Yay, we're live! Yay! Yay! Okay, hi. I'm GothBatty, aka Miss G Batty, Chatty Batty, whatever you want to call me. I'm Batty. Today we're going to be talking about where is it? Oh, stop complaining about the rental prices because we're sick of hearing it. And today I have my friend here with me.
It's your boy, man, Slave BBIC, man, the general of We the People TV, man. Come talk to me all things 420, anime, cartoon related on my channel. Let's get weird, let's get loopy, let's get blurty, you know what I'm saying? And today we are going to talk about these rental prices and evictions because I know nothing about this. So my friend said this is something that I need to touch bases with her on. So that's what we're going to do here. So let's get it. Let's get it.
You don't even understand. Here we go. I'm gonna pull this up. Stop complaining about the rental crisis. We're just gonna get right into it.
Let's do it.
Let's get right into it. This says eviction notices piling up for Atlanta residences, particularly for minorities, communities of color. Let's see what they're talking about. Courtesy of Black Book, Black with a Q.
Oh, right. Okay. Shout out to them. Yeah.
11 Alive.
This all comes as eviction filings are stacking up here in Metro Atlanta. Those are the notices at the very beginning of the eviction process. And in a time when a federal moratorium stands between home sweet home and homelessness, researchers say the floodgates could burst open once that ban is lifted at the end of next month. One study found those filings concentrated on one particular demographic.
Freeze. Okay. Already. I'm stuck on when he said floodgates are bursting open.
Yeah, he said that. The floodgates are as if everybody's gonna be mad, not mad, but happy to put people out on the street. The floodgates are gonna be busting open with evictions. You see what I'm saying? With evictions and misfortune. I don't like it. And it's for a particular demographic, as he said. Did you hear him say that? A particular demographic? Yeah, I like that.
But you know why? Because even in California, they haven't been paying rent for 15 months. Imagine. I'm like, I've been paying rent every month since the pandemic started. I never got not one rental assistance.
We're still in the pandemic. Still in it.
Yeah. So the thing is, basically the point of the show is these are people abusing the system. And like what we were talking about backstage, just people utilizing stuff longer than they should. And now they're saying it's because of their race. And it's not because of your race. It's you're abusing the system into place for disabled people, like people that need it. But now it's like it's a color thing. Are the Asians talking about this? Are whites or some Hispanic? Yeah, especially in California, they're talking about this. But it's just Hispanic and niggas.
A certain demographic, as the curly-headed brother said right there.
It looked like he was wearing a wig. But let's continue.
The Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta conducted the study. They tracked eviction filings for a year and showed eviction filings were...
Freeze! Now, I know this map very well.
We know this map very well. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm looking at this filing rate. Okay, so it looks like in the suburbs, it's 0 to less than 1%.
Oh, that's all the north side, ladies and gentlemen, that y'all don't, who's not from the A. That's the northern region. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so I don't know if you know right here, I'm guessing this is like that Dunwoody area. That's where the Hispanics and the niggas are, just so you know.
Okay, got you. Okay.
Yeah, because North Fulton, it's mostly, you see it's 0%. It's mostly working Asians, whites, and the working niggas.
Okay.
But I can guarantee you, if I can zoom in on that, that is
it's real dark on that southern region down there too. You know what I'm saying?
You know, that's Clayton County, that's Clayco, that's where like Lotto's
from. South side. Yeah, shout out to the south side. It's real dark down there too.
Yeah. So this is these are actually places where you don't want to send your kids. The darker it is, you do not want to send your kid there. So it goes hand in hand.
I want to disagree with her, but I can't.
You think I'm lying?
Yeah.
So even like right here in the center, that's the city of Atlanta. But once you start going this way, that's Memorial Drive. You get to this is zone 6, basically. Where my mouse is, that is zone 6. Say I'm lying.
It's zone 6, the place that everybody raps about. It's not a good area. It's not a good area at all.
Yeah, even right here, this North DeKalb, that's around like the Chamblee area. This is heavily Hispanic. So I'm telling you, these areas that they're about to show, these are heavy nigga and Hispanic areas. Like I'm telling you, Cobb County, yeah, they're pushing all the people out because I bet you the Brave Stadium. Let's see if you drive up Brave Stadium, they're pushing the poor people out. Cobb County used to be poor. They're trying to get poor people out of there.
So you think they're pushing the and I'm using air quotes here. They're pushing the filth away to make the tourist attractions look cleaner.
Of course.
Got it. Okay.
Why do you think they completely got out of the city of Atlanta?
That's true.
Hello, I'm from Zone 3 Summer Hill, 730 Hill Street. We used to walk to the Braves games. Come on now, trap. Yeah, so let's continue. But that Clayton County, do not move there.
Don't really.
Yeah. If you ever want to consider a place to move to, I hate when everyone's like, just move to Atlanta. There's so many cities, so many places, you don't know where to go. Look at maps like this. This will help you.
Or greater in communities of color, in this case in southern Fulton, southern DeKalb, and Clayton counties.
About 60,000 eviction notices were filed during the pandemic. That's 60,000 households in our 5-county area who received an eviction notice.
No, I have to disagree with her because I think back in 2021, I was struggling so much. I was getting an eviction notice literally every month for like 5 months. So you can't say that that's 60,000 households. I'm sure there's repeat offenders in there.
So you think it's a whole lot more? Like it's a whole lot.
Yeah, they're manipulating the data. They're going to be like, there's 60,000 misplaced families, not realizing some people got an eviction notice every single month for 2 years.
Before the pandemic even hit.
No, we're not taking, because the thing is, you have like 30 days to pay it. So it kind of resets, but you still owe the next month's rent. You're still owing rent. You feel me? So if you're, if you're just getting by, but anyway, the numbers are skewed. Let's continue. Numbers are skewed for sure. Don't get me wrong. There is broke people out here that choose not to work.
And choose to ride the system so that, you know what? And that just leads back to what you were saying. Do you know how many people, like my mom happened to be one of those people where she got laid off from her good job where she was making $50 an hour, you know what I'm saying, home doing tech and all that, got laid off from her job. She's hitting up unemployment, and because the system has been beaten so many times, now the people that really need these funds to, you know what I'm saying, get on with their life, they're taking them through hell and high water just to get them. So no, seriously, it's nasty. It's really nasty. So like, you got to think about it. It's a good thing that my OG has some savings, because had she not, and had she been back in the day when she had me and my little sister, you know, you have 2 little babies and you don't have a job, not having any prospects of a job, and unemployment's playing around with you because people are beating the system. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's nasty work. It's nasty work.
Yeah, the thing is, I can relate to this too, because I had my son when I was 19. So, you know, go apply for Section 8. The waitlist never opened. So instead of me waiting years for a waitlist to open, I'm like, damn, I need to get out here and grind.
So you was like, damn, fuck a waitlist. I'm going to go ahead and get what I got to get.
Yeah, now I have a 10-year tech career. My resume looks amazing. My resume is a bad bitch. You know me, I can go work just about any software company I want to. You understand? So that's another reason why I started this channel. It's because I used to be someone like this, you know, and I have used food stamps, Medicaid as I needed it. Right now, I'm paying like, I think it's like 150 a paycheck for insurance. Like I'm paying at least like $600 total comes out of my per paycheck. Do you know what I mean? Back then, that was the paycheck.
That was the paycheck. Yeah, that was the paycheck. That's $600.
Dad, are you joking? I've seen less. So do you understand? So it's like you have to decide, do you want to be dealing with shit like this, or do you want happiness and
Comfortability. Comfortability, happiness and comfortability, being able to do what you want, you know what I'm saying, and being able to breathe, not worrying, man, I gotta go to the restaurant and only order appetizers because I don't have appetizer and entree money. You see what I'm saying? We want to live comfortably at the end of the day.
That's also vegan problems, just so you know. If I'm heavy vegetarian or vegan that day, I'm like, let me just get a side of broccoli. So lots of other people can relate to that too. But yeah, I've been there. Or not being able to tip. Now to make up for it, I overtip. I overtip. Do you understand? Now when I go out, I'm spending anywhere between $50 and $200 every time I eat out. And it's just me and my son.
And that's because you appreciate that waiter or that waitress because you know what they did to get to even serving you and your son that day. I dig that.
Yeah, I'm giving people in the drive-through an extra $2, $3 because I'm like, I know what it's like. I know what it's like. But the thing is, also, I do preach, don't be working here and complaining. You know where you work at. It goes both ways. You know where the fuck you work at.
So you like, if you don't want these problems, go work somewhere else.
Yeah, go learn a skill, go learn something. But yes, I can relate to this. But let's continue. You know, I can talk forever.
Laura Raymond with Georgia Tech helped write the study. She says many minorities' essential worker status made them more likely to catch the virus, and a history of wealth inequality and discrimination.
There's just this layering effect of all of these.
Discrimination. Why? People throw this word around a lot, the discrimination word.
In what sense? In what sense? He talking about in the workplace?
I don't know. I need to run that back, but it's just when I hear certain words, I'm like, we just hear the words oppression, suppression, discrimination. We just throw these different words around and not even get to the root cause of the shit.
Well, those are wow words. We got to get you to listen to what we're saying. Those are wow words. Oppression, discrimination. Yeah.
Layering effect of all of these different forces coming down to bear, and it creates concentrated vulnerability in our communities of color.
Even before the pandemic, we knew that eviction rates were out.
What happened? Did I go back? I thought I went back somehow.
Go back to all the gross thing. Yeah, that's good.
You went forward by like a minute. How did that? Where they do that at?
During the pandemic. That's 60,000 households in our 5-county area who received an eviction notice.
Laura Raymond with Georgia Tech helped write the study. She says many minorities' essential worker status made them more likely to catch the virus, and a history of wealth inequality and discrimination.
There's just this layering effect of all of these different forces coming down to bear, and it creates concentrated vulnerability in our communities of color.
Even before the pandemic, we knew that eviction rates were elevated in these populations.
Ann Carpenter with the Fed says during the pandemic, the toll
Oh,
on
she just
physical and mental health.
What'd she say?
Even before the pandemic, in these different areas, we already know eviction rates were higher than normal.
Yeah, because niggas don't want to pay rent. Niggas want to live for free like we're on a plantation still. If you want to be blind.
The only way I'm not paying you is if I got something broken in here and you're not coming in here to fix it. You know what I'm saying? But again, this is another one of those folks being comfortable trying to beat the system. You see what I'm saying? Continue.
Yeah. Because it's like, because even if they analyze that data, you knew people weren't going to pay even more.
Now they got an excuse.
Yeah, because now, I mean, even if you just look on Instagram, when we had the PPP loans, the Black internet was crazy during the PPP loan and the STEMIs era.
Yeah, I hated it too.
You feel me? And the thing is, I couldn't even get a PPP loan because I created my company like 7 months after the cutoff date. So me, I'm like, oh well, maybe next time there's one, maybe I can get one. But
There was no next time. There was no next time.
no, I mean like in the future, if there is something, because
Something
now
like
I have 3 established companies now that takes a loss because I'm not really getting any revenue, but it's just people manipulating numbers. That's a whole nother topic. I can't wait to. They're cracking down. I'm excited.
Yeah.
On the PPP. Okay.
Well, yeah. Go ahead.
What?
A lot of those folks, if you didn't get forgiven, go ahead. That's all I'm gonna say.
Education, job loss, family only snowballed.
In April and May, relatively low levels.
Let me look at this. Hold on. Let me back that ass up a little. Okay. Answered filings, baseline. So look, so this is January, total filings.
Is that baseline filing that bottom gray area?
No, oh my gosh, I'm looking at this. No, I'm looking at it as a whole. Do you see what happened right here? So this is when the pandemic hit.
Right.
Because it was around Valentine's Day. Do you understand? This is when we were getting stimmies and shit. This is when we were getting free money, extra $600 a week on unemployment. So we were paying rent. You see the cause, the thing. When money starts running out, it goes back up. Imagine what it looks like for 2023. It's probably skyrocket. It's probably way up here. But this is another thing. This is why we stimulated the economy. That's what the stimulus was, to stimulate the economy.
It's looking real dry. April 2020, May, June, July. It's looking real dry over there.
Yeah, this was people that really were fucking up the system. These people really must be fucked up right now. It's like, what? You was getting free money if you did your taxes and you had a child on your taxes, you got money. Because even I know some people that get paid over $100,000 that got stimmies. Because they qualified, because you just had to. No, I think you had to make a less than a certain amount. I don't know what it was, but people was getting it. People was getting stuff, certain things, but yeah. That's crazy. That's hilarious. Okay.
Relatively low levels of evictions or volumes of eviction filings. But by August and September, we were seeing rates or volumes that were 3 times that amount.
While protections are in place, including the moratorium and assistance programs through COVID relief dollars, Raymond estimates tens of thousands of people will still face eviction once the moratorium expires. And landlords are still out thousands in debt from unpaid rent.
Stopping evictions doesn't mean that the rent debt stops being incurred. And so a lot of people are exiting this pandemic owing tens of thousands of dollars to their landlord. And that doesn't go away.
Take a deep look at the root causes of those inequities and develop.
Yeah, because people don't realize when you're signing a contract. You still owe me that money. Think of me as a landlord. You still owe me that money, whatever the contract says. You break your lease, you owe 2 months rent plus the rent the month you didn't pay. And you're not getting your deposit. You're signing contracts.
Right. I still got to get my money at the end of the day. I still got to get my money at the end of the day.
Yeah, and it's like, because even the house that I'm renting right now, he has to pay the mortgage company their fee, and then he profits his fee, or he pays like the plumbers that have to come out. My pipes busted twice in December.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, if you want to have your refrigerator fixed and all that shit, how are you going to get it fixed and you're not paying rent?
You're not paying rent.
Especially for small landlords. Like there's apartments, they be getting their bread. But like, think about like
the landlords.
Yeah, think about the smaller landlords that might just have like 10 properties, like single family home properties. Like they have to get their money,
or else they're gonna go under. I mean, it's the same thing because they got somebody they got to pay. So, nasty work.
Yeah, and actually, if I'm late on my rent, it's $50 a day.
Oh shit.
$50 every day that I'm late. One time, I was late one time, and I had to pay $350 on top of my $1,850 rent.
Yeah, that'll teach you not that'll teach you real quick. That's a real adult lesson. That'll teach you not to be late on paying your rent.
Yeah, and usually I pay it early. So my landlord could have said, "Oh, you've been paying early for almost a year. You can slide." But
No.
I didn't ask for that. I'm like, "Okay, so I owe you $350," and he's like, "Yeah," because I'm a responsible adult and I'm gonna take this L.
Not
Right?
can you let me slide on this one? Hell no, this is business. Let me get my 350, not the personal, right?
Yeah, and I told him, I understand you're running a business. I will send it to you on the 7th or whenever it was. So this is what comes with being an adult. And a lot of, remember, the children, they're baby boys. They can't think like that. Let's continue.
Go ahead.
A better policy that can address and sort of create more equitable outcomes.
Researchers hope lawmakers and other organizations can take these findings and make targeted policy that will benefit both landlord and tenant. One proposal.
No, so this was a year ago. If anything, they're taking the rights away from the landlords now and giving all the rights to the poor people that don't want to pay their rent. I swear to God, that's actually what's happening right now, a year later.
So then basically, like, the landlord's not getting their money, folks is living for free with no sort of result, like, hey, I intend on paying you at this date.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And actually, I've been watching a lot of real estate stuff for the last year and a half, and the banks have been buying up the houses. They're going to make it harder for people to rent houses because it's like everything's fucking up. So, like, decide if you want to still be asking the government for handouts, or do you want to be a good citizen? Let me see. I'm going to remove this one. What's one? These are all pretty short.
What's that? Atlanta returning 10 million in emergency rental.
Oh yeah, that was actually uploaded like 5 hours ago. Where is it?
Right there.
Where'd that go?
Money given to
21 hours ago. Okay, Atlanta returning 10 million to Washington. Oh, because they got some relief, right?
Atlanta, earmarked for people in our city that needed help during the pandemic, being sent back tonight. Many of our families, our neighbors, wishing they could have used those funds. The city of Atlanta is now sending back $10 million to the federal government.
It's funding that could have been used to help families that are struggling to make ends meet here. Chelsea Bimefor live outside City Hall to explain why that cash is heading back to the feds and how this all revolves around COVID-19. Chelsea, I'm sure some families pretty frustrated.
Absolutely, Alan. Since 2020, the city of Atlanta has distributed more than $50 million in rental assistance. And this was all part of federal funding provided during COVID. But some residents say it wasn't enough, and city leaders should have distributed every last penny.
$10 million.
The main people that don't vote, are wearing shit that says vote. He probably votes.
He votes.
He probably votes.
He votes.
Well, our people don't vote.
He votes. He definitely votes.
This was February 6th. This was on the cat's birthday. My dog turns 1 tomorrow, by the way. So yeah, 2 days ago. Let's see what I'm saying. Sorry, it's just like our people are not going to vote. You know why? Because niggas still think that there's a voting tax. You know, niggas used to have to pay to vote.
Yeah, there's no voting tax, y'all, if that's what y'all think. And they want you not to, they tell you that your voice doesn't count. It really does. So everybody, please get out and vote. Please do.
Yeah, so I'm like, when
please get out and vote.
I'm like, I understand not voting in federal elections, but definitely your local shit. You're voting for taxes.
The shit that immediately affects you. Please, the city and your state, vote for that. Come on now.
Yeah. So I'm like, ugh. Here we go.
$10 million? You gotta be kidding me.
Angry Atlanta residents addressed city council asking them why millions of dollars are headed back to D.C. when they could be used to help tenants in this city.
There's no need for that money to go back.
Cherie Miller works at the Capitol Gateway Apartments near City Hall. She told council she's tired of watching people get kicked out of their homes.
We had over almost close to 100 evictions.
Access to affordable housing is an ongoing issue in Atlanta. During COVID-19, it got worse. Thousands of people lost their jobs.
Well, we have so many people out here. They're on the streets.
How come everyone's black? That's my first question. There's a common theme here. You want to catch me at nothing like this. I'm just saying, and I'm black. If anything, I'm like, damn, I got to go pipe up the numbers on OnlyFans.
But my thing is like, so it's like, y'all are at the.
They're supposed to be at work.
Right. You're supposed to be at work. Y'all over here at city council arguing with them about money that they done already gave back. Wow. Okay. Please.
And we're in $1 trillion of debt. China already owns us. Do they not realize that the Middle East is about to take over because the 50-year contract is up for the oil and the gas and shit, and they want to worry about this shit?
Sounds like another war coming. We gotta get some money back up.
The war has started in Russia and Ukraine. That's the start of World War III. That's the first battle.
Oh, so you saying eventually we gonna step off in it? Okay, I got you.
Biden is sending tanks to Ukraine right now.
And see, a lot of folks don't realize American war, man. We thrive off of not minding our business. You two is going to war. We about to step right on in y'all situation. You better stop doing all that warring over there. No, bro, mind y'all business. They not affecting us. Mind y'all business, bro.
Well, so the thing is, it is affecting us because of like the price of wheat went up, the price of gas went up. Like it actually is affecting us greatly, and the Fed's hiking up the inflation because they're really separating the wealth gap. They're really trying to make like millions upon millions of people homeless and poor. That's really going to be like a war. They want them to go kill each other off.
Oh, so you're saying they're using the war as yet another money tactic?
It's everything put together. The whole pandemic was a whole everything, but I kind of don't want to say it on here, but yeah. Everything goes hand in hand, but we're trickling down. This is specifically Atlanta. Let's trickle down back down to Atlanta, Fulton County. But yeah, it's like we have bigger fish to fry, and even like
being that city council right now and talking to them about money that they done already gave back to the federal government ain't helping nothing. So
yeah, and I'm like, why? Go to a job fair, go on LinkedIn, go apply to some jobs, but during the day you want to protest and do this shit.
It's just money. The money's already gone. What you talking about? It's all
this was on Monday. This is probably Monday morning. Monday morning is the start of the week. That's when we do sprint planning, where we plan out our week in the software development world. She's over here, these people wearing casual clothing, not a single button up. Anyway.
Fortunate enough, I have parents I can go stay with right now.
Since 2020, Atlanta's chief financial officer, Mohammed Bala, says the city distributed more than $50 million in federal COVID relief funds, which helped roughly 12,000 households.
It went to people abusing the system. Let's say that. Let's say that, because the people that are abusing the system, they weren't at that meeting. Right? The people that actually need it were at that meeting.
You said they were absent at that meeting. They're not sitting up there asking for money while they should be at work trying to get some of their own.
Yeah, they're still having kickbacks. They were at a kickback Monday morning.
It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse because it takes money to make money.
That's called priming. That's called priming the economic pump.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's gonna get worse.
You have to spend money to make money.
March, the state reallocated an extra $21 million to the city, which had to be used within 9 months.
We were able to deploy $11 million to help residents in the city of Atlanta.
Once the December deadline came, the city.
Mind you, this is just the city of Atlanta. That's a small area. That's
Right.
not included. That's not Gwinnett. That's city of Atlanta.
Just
I
the
think that
city of
includes
Atlanta.
Buckhead.
We're not talking about Gwinnett, Clayco, none of that yet. Go ahead, keep going.
I don't even
Go
know
ahead.
if we're talking about Bankhead because we're talking about the city of
City of
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Mhm. Okay.
City had to stop pulling money from that pot. Bala says the time constraints, COVID-specific requirements, and slight decreased level of interest are what led to the leftover money, something council members like Marcy Collier Overstreet say they would have liked to have known about sooner.
We want to make sure that we're telling council members specifically, all 12 districts and our 3 at large, what amount of funds we have available so that we can get within our communities and figure out a way to reach the people.
And CFO Bala says there is a second emergency rental assistance program that the city has access to until 2025. That one is less restrictive and doesn't have to tie in directly to COVID-19. So he says more Atlantans will be able to apply to this and be accepted. Right now, city leaders are exploring what all they will be able to use that money for. Reporting live in downtown Atlanta tonight, Chelsea Bime for.
Any other thoughts before we go on?
I don't like it. I don't like it. What's this other one we see here?
Oh yeah, I'll let you pick.
South Fulton, Section 8 tenants receive eviction notices.
A notice, unexpected.
Let me see. Yeah, this is 2 months ago.
Okay, yeah.
I saw this on another channel. So let's see.
In mailboxes, eviction notices sent out to some families in South Fulton who rely on Section 8 housing vouchers to keep a roof over their heads.
Yeah, they're being told that their apartment complex will no longer accept those federal housing vouchers. This is happening at the Beacon Ridge Apartments, Old National Highway.
Are you serious? This is over there by Buffington Road.
Yep.
This is scary area.
Southside shit. Go ahead.
I used to work at the Chick-fil-A office. They put it in the hood because it was cheap to get some land over there.
Yeah.
College Park.
Atlanta News First reporter Adam Murphy live outside that complex tonight. Adam, what are these families going to do?
Well, first off, good evening, guys. I can tell you I spoke with several of the tenants out here, and they told me they believe as many as 60 Section 8 residents received eviction notices, and they were told they had to move out of this property by the 1st of next year. I read some of those eviction notices, and nowhere in those letters does management explain why they made this decision.
I know why.
Why?
Because the only way, so one thing a lot of these companies are doing, these places are doing, they're getting certain people that make certain amount of money out. Because the only way to get more money, you have to get those people out, renovate, then you can get people that will pay more in. You understand? And a lot of these places, the rent is so low, these people are not moving out.
So you're like, I'm already getting Section 8 to stay here. Let's find a way to get you out to somebody that's going to pay regular rent prices and not Section 8 prices to where we can maximize all the bread that we're using for said residents. Got it. Okay.
Precisely.
It's not right. They don't care about this.
For more than a decade.
Oh, one thing you need to notice, it's only Black women out here. Because, the trappers and the drillers, they're like, the news is coming, we're out of here. There's not going to be not one nigga up in here.
Oh, man.
And usually women are the ones that can get the apartments because those dudes have felonies.
Let me see what they sent up here saying, because they looking crazy right now.
Yeah, no one's at work too. Mind you, this is during probably 9 to 5 work hours.
Most of these ladies made Beacon Ridge Apartments their home.
Yeah, I ain't got nowhere to go. But they just don't care.
But now these Section 8 residents are being forced.
Hold on. One thing. Did you notice her nails were done? Do you know how much it costs to keep your nails done?
Ain't that like a $100-$200 job right there?
Not 200, but do you understand? I make 6 figures. I don't even keep my nails done. That shit's too expensive and time consuming to deal with. And I'm a typer. I need to do shit.
If you notice, they that's the reason why they zoomed in on their hands. It's a play on a play. It's a play on a play because it's looking like they're holding hands like in solidarity, like, oh, I'm here with you. We both about to get our ass kicked out. But it's really like, look at their hands. They don't look like they're hurting for anything, right? But
Yeah, and another thing that the news won't tell you, no one else will analyze. These women, these are city girls. They're just
those
older.
are not city girls, Batty.
No. I'm talking about when they were 21, 25. They got there. So you have to understand, when you never get your life together and your priorities are all the way fucked up, you live in near Buffington Road.
So you saying
Hey, I'm lying.
these are former city girls. These are hoochie mamas right here. Got
Yes.
it. Okay.
Or if you want to go further back, harlots.
Not harlots. Oh man.
You have to understand, none of them, because it's really sad. It's a never-ending cycle. Black women, they spend their best years, their good years on a fuck nigga. Then when they get older, it's like, whoa, I never had a career. I never did anything for myself. I never bought a house. I never owned a car because I gave all my money to supporting the nigga. Back then, I was buying him Stacey Adams. I was buying him whatever brands they was buying back then. I don't know. In Jet Magazine. We're still going through this now because understand, remember, I was doing this too, but I was doing it for young boys. Wearing the tight skinny jeans and white beaters. And I'm like, damn, I thank God I picked a fucking career, or else I would honestly still be working as a cashier. I can't do it more than 2 weeks. I tried 2 weeks when I was 15, 2 weeks when I was like 19, 20. I can't do it. I can't work in retail, and I can't work in food.
You can't work in retail and food because of the people, or it's just not
the pay.
The pay. Got it. Okay.
I picked my career. I picked IT because of the pay.
Makes sense.
I fell in love with the potential pay. Then I fell in love with what I do. I absolutely love what I do now. You can't tell me shit about what I do. Okay. But I'm just saying, these women, it's so sad because they look angry. They look like they've been cheated on. They've been broken down. It's true. Like, this is Black woman shit. Like, we watch movies on it. All the Tyler Perry movies, I Can Do All Bad by Myself. This is what they're cosplaying. But this is the real life. Let's continue.
But they just don't care.
But now these Section 8 residents are being forced to find another place to live and have not been told why.
How they just gonna put us out like that? They ain't said why we got to move. I ain't did nothing. I ain't did a thing.
Several residents
This
received
Georgia, they
notices
don't have
on
to tell
Monday
you
telling
nothing.
them.
I said, this is Georgia. They don't have to tell you nothing.
Yeah, actually, the law really is, you can tell someone you're going to end their lease, but it's usually the next time it's up. And you have to give 60 days notice before the next time is up. I don't know how they got around to you got 60 days. That's it. I have no.
They hit them 2 days before they hit them 2 months before the first. That's what they said. So you got your little 60 days. But like, damn, though, like I just in 2 months I ain't got nowhere to stay at. But like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And that regardless of when their lease is up, they are required to surrender the premises to management on.
Let me see. Yeah, he said it didn't say why, but I'm just like, it says either party may non-renew by giving written notice.
These 30 days prior to the date on which the non-renewal notice must be given in order to end the initial term or any subsequent renewal or extension period. You are required to surrender the premises of Beacon Ridge Management on or before the 1/31/2023. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And these ladies don't have a backup plan, no savings, no nothing. Because
That's
they
the thing. I don't think they ever had a backup plan for life. I think they wanted to stay there forever.
on Section 8.
Is this Section 8? Oh yeah.
That's Section 8. Yeah, that's Section 8.
You know how hard it is? You know how hard it was? Like, I think I owe 2 last apartments. I don't know if it's on my record, but do you know how hard it was for me to find the actual owner of a house? Imagine how hard it's going to be for them. Because a lot of places I see on Zillow say no Section 8.
Continue.
On or before January 31st of next year, and that failure to do so will result in legal action.
So I'm just really concerned about that. And so they hadn't gave us but 60 days to move.
How you gonna find a place to move and they getting your best day in January?
What?
So Atlanta News First went to the leasing office to find out why
Atlanta.
they're evicting Section 8 residents, but they locked the door and never called us to explain.
There's a lot of us out here that ain't got nowhere to go. And then it's hard to find Section 8.
And the mayor.
Yeah, it's hard. It's very, very hard to find Section 8. Here, this one is 45.
All new
seconds.
tonight, a property manager with more than a dozen apartment complexes across Metro Atlanta is now at the center of a federal investigation. A special House committee found Ventron Management, along with 3 other companies, tried to evict a high number of tenants during the pandemic, despite federal eviction moratoriums. All of this as the company received $2.5 million and federal PPP loans to cover pandemic-related costs. Investigators determined that 91% of the company's eviction filings involved tenants who were only 1 month behind on their rent.
That's
So Ventron
wild.
moved forward with filing evictions on tenants who were in the middle of applying for rental.
Well, you have to understand, I lived in one neighborhood, and on day 4, if you were late, you get an eviction notice. So I'm like, that's not too far. I'm like, a month. I'm like, where they live at? I wish I had a month. That's how I got the 5 eviction notices. I got one back to back to back to back because
So they was on your head 4 days after the due date. You get an eviction notice. Yeesh.
That's when they file, and then they're like, you got to pay us $100 on top of your rent because we paid to file. Like, places are fucked up. But I'm like, they gave them a month though. That's actually lucky.
Assistance. We reached out to Ventron for comment, but have not heard back.
That's tight.
This one paid.
As J. Maria Gordon sits on the porch of her West Detroit home, helping one of her 4 children dress, she is also worrying.
Because I'm in the process of getting evicted. My landlord has told me if I haven't paid up to $3,000 by September 10th, that they was gonna go on with the eviction. So I'm in that process right now.
She says her housing problems are due to the
Again, what is the common theme here?
Black women.
Well, Black in general. Because you have to understand, men.
Black single moms. That's what I'm looking at right here. But yeah, Black in general. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's a whole nother can of worms. But yeah,
I mean, it's just what you asked me. What did I notice? You asked me what did I notice?
there's niggas in the household. It's just they got a felony. They don't want to be seen on camera.
Oh God.
You think I'm lying? Am I lying?
No.
Or even if she is by herself, it's the common theme is
she's by herself. Let that baby open the door. Go ahead. She's definitely by herself.
The common theme is like, again, like women typically get the house like in their name. Because I can relate to that because I never had a boyfriend. Like usually it was my house. You live with me, you know?
So when y'all run across a guy that got his own spot, you know what I'm saying, it might be a little bit of a shock to you.
Yeah, actually, I'm talking to 2 dudes and they have their own spot. I'm like, whoa, niggas be having their own spots? I'm like, I'm not used to it. And you got your own car and you got a full-time job? It's new to me.
Okay.
Yeah, even when I dated this Indian guy, he was here on a work visa. Like he had a roommate. I'm like, I've never dated anyone with their own crib until like starting last year. I'm telling you, it's hard out here for a lot of people. They make it hard for themselves though.
COVID-19 pandemic. I was working, but I have young kids, so they have to have daycare. And the person that watches my kids caught COVID. So I could no longer work. It forced me out of my job.
She says she's been looking for a new job.
Okay, so there's only one babysitter in Detroit that could have watched her children. So you had to quit your job. This doesn't make any sense.
So you're saying all you had to do was find another babysitter, sweetheart?
There's so many other women that were out of jobs too you could have hired. So I was like, I don't want to hear shit like that though. Like,
so you're saying let's look at the other side of the coin. Did you stop working so that you could get some sort of government assistance and you wouldn't have to work?
well, that's yeah.
No, because you want to know something? A lot of people did that.
Mm-hmm.
I was an essential worker during the during the COVID situation. I was an essential worker, and all these folks that were getting all this unemployment, getting all that extra money, we're doing the same amount of work and leaving early. I'm getting short at hours. They're getting extra money, but because I was in the military the year before the COVID hit, for some odd reason, the government didn't want to give me any unemployment. So I suffered a lot during the COVID time being an essential worker. I'm out there every day. I'm in the middle of it. I could have got sick, and then I wasn't even getting all the money that I was allotted. It was bad. It was bad. It was really bad. So when I look at people that sit up there and they purposely quit their job, because that was like the running little jug at the moment, like, oh, for real, I could just quit and just collect unemployment. And then, when it starts to run out, just give me another job real quick.
That's crazy. But yeah, I was out there I was driving for Lyft. I was out there grinding. So yeah, I was an essential worker too, I guess. Like it was booming. So I'm like, a lot of these people have a car, go do DoorDash. Right now, they're giving you a $700 bonus on Uber. You're getting, because the thing is, people don't even want to drive for Uber and Lyft anymore, DoorDash. Like the employment market is completely fucked up right now. No one wants to do
DoorDash would be the perfect thing to do for you. You literally your own boss. I wouldn't do Uber because I don't want nobody riding behind me. But DoorDash, yeah, I would do that.
Yeah, I have a friend. He's actually doing it till 1 a.m.
Yeah, see.
Tonight.
See,
He's gonna be on here tonight. So I'm like, go make some bread. Here, let's go here. Extended stay hotel evictions soar following Atlanta renters
Getting kicked out of your own home, it is hard to imagine, but eviction notices like this are common for a lot of families living in extended stay motels across the metro. Atlanta News First found that evictions for those families, those evictions are skyrocketing this year.
They are. According to Atlanta Legal Aid, the number of evictions so far this year is the same, if not more, than the previous 5 years combined. Think about that. As Savannah Louie finds, this could, though, reflect a positive change to housing in Atlanta.
But do understand the Fed is hiking up the interest rates. I don't know if you know, eggs are like $11, $12, $13.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, so literally everything.
Go find your own chicken, y'all. Go find your own chicken.
But literally everything. No, because they know people are not going to just be vegetarians. Me, I'm like, son, we're about to be pescatarians. Do you understand?
Are you trying to be fancy, Miss Chicken and Miss Fish and Shrimp? Yeah, I see.
Yeah, well, I usually eat like a vegetarian diet anyway, but this is like, I'm not buying no beef, no nothing. I don't really buy it anyway. I don't like cooking it. It's disgusting. But yeah, the prices on everything are going up. People are still living like this is 5-6 years ago. It's not. We're literally going through a global reset. That's like they're widening the gap between poverty and being just okay. Like it's even wider. So that's why I always say you got to pick which side you want to be on, because they're it's going full force 2023. This is like the fourth quarter.
Mm.
And what's happening this year is going to determine the rest of the decade. Notice that the pandemic happened at the start of this decade. That set the
Right.
tone for this entire decade. It's basically like the Great Depression all over again.
Mm.
I thought it was going to be like the Roaring '20s. No, it's the opposite. So I'm like,
Nah, that pandemic kind of did a number on us. It really did.
yeah, and it's worldwide. It's literally worldwide.
It really
And
did a number on us.
when you look at like Instagram, like Black Twitter and all that stuff, you would think nothing is wrong. So I actually stopped looking at Instagram. I don't consume content other than like news and stuff like this,
Mhm.
or other people watching the news and analyzing it like this live stream. But yeah, you can get lost in the internet and you will think absolutely nothing is happening outside.
Yeah, because everybody fronting like they got it, like there's nothing wrong, and yeah,
And
you
we
got to
all know
make it.
we
You got to
don't.
make it look good. You got to make it look good. That's the saying. You got to make it look good. I
Yeah,
hate it.
even the Kardashians, they're declining too because like flex culture is over. We off that. And that's why I'm speaking up more because I'm so humble and down to earth
That
that if anything, I could be the next Kim Kardashian because I'm so relatable and likable compared to her now.
yeah, that whole reality television shit is over with. So now you have, I guess, people who are non-celebrities saying, we don't care about your life. It's real life going on. I don't care to watch your life. It's real life going on. I have going on over here.
Yeah.
Most people I see up here, all of them waiting to be approved.
Notice everyone's always wearing a hoodie. All these guys are wearing a hoodie or a zip-up hoodie.
What's wrong with hoodies? Nothing wrong with
Like
hoodies.
wearing one, it's casual.
Hmm They are being they're having these guys be reporters, I guess, but yeah, it is very casual. It is.
It's beyond casual. So I should have peeped what you were wearing before
I
I
love
wrote.
a good hoodie. It's not gonna change anything over here. I love a good hoodie.
Oh man, I used to. I don't. I think because
But
I want to
it's a
dress
part of a
casual.
jacket. It's a part of a jacket though. So it's a part of a jacket. It zips up and all of that. So
Yeah, I guess I don't really wear jackets. Maybe that's why.
For Atlantans hoping to get into affordable housing, extended stay hotels are home for weeks or months, but some live here for years, despite a higher price tag than apartment rentals in this same area.
It's more money weekly, $700 a week compared to like
$700 a week. Where you? Is this Atlanta? Where in Atlanta do you know an extended stay that's $700 a week? I mean, maybe this is like post-pandemic, but I've never heard of that. I've heard of maybe 150.
it's supposed to say 200 maybe. I ain't never heard no 750 a week.
That's
That
why
kind of
I'm
defeats the purpose of us staying here, my boy. Like the extended stay is supposed to be everything you need, but smaller.
Oh, well, if it's extended stay, then yeah, I'm thinking about like the trap hotels that are like $50 a night.
Oh, extended stay. Well, yeah,
That's a
that's like
brand, so that's
little
why.
small apartments. Yeah.
Okay, then you.
But even those, I've seen some extended stays that's on the south side. They ain't nothing but like 150 a week, 200 a week, something like that. So yeah. Yeesh, where he staying at?
Yeah, I need to know the street. I need to know everything. I can let you know if it's worth it or not.
$1,100 a month.
They're often the only option.
Hold on, he's complaining about $1,100 a month. I wish I was paying $1,100 a month.
Or when you don't have a job or your job ain't paying shit $1,100 a month, it's pretty.
Come on, is that a Lincoln? These people got cars. They got cars. I don't want to hear it. Go do Uber. But the thing is, they can't because they're probably a felon. They probably have moving violations. You see how people are always stopping themselves from doing shit?
Continue.
For families who can't put down a security deposit or first month's rent, pay initial utility activation fees, or who may have a subpar renter's history.
People hear hotel, they have a certain image in their mind.
but that's not what these places are.
Rachel Lazarus with Atlanta Legal Aid says more families are relying on these hotels due to increased rent across Metro Atlanta, but staying in one proves challenging too.
Evictions just in 2022, and I guess we're 3/4 in, are as many, if not more, than in the 5 years previous.
Though this spike in evictions is actually proof a new law meant to protect renters is working. Lazarus says up until March 2022, extended stays often utilized unfair protocols. Some Atlanta area hotels changing locks on rooms still filled with belongings, including pets, just for being 1 day late for a payment. In
Damn.
spring, a court of appeals changed that, ruling.
Well, because the thing is, they're fed up of people not paying. And look, they're messing up the side of the stuff. This shit's expensive.
Right.
Like I'm a business owner now. I have to go get a sign for my shit. Every little thing, every single door handle, everything, the crown molding on the side, everything costs money. You feel me?
And residents are entitled to due process and official eviction notices.
When you compare it to the alternative, which was people getting kicked out with no notice and no due process, it's actually a much better thing.
While this primarily impacts lower income families, Lazarus
Look,
says
you saw that? You saw that nigga? He's like, "Nah, you about to catch me on camera," and then he walked away. I'm telling you, they don't want to be on camera. They got warrants.
all of us will feel a ripple effect.
Most families would rather get into a stable, normal housing situation.
No,
The more
they
that we
don't. No, they don't.
And why you say that?
I used to be best friends with a girl that only stayed at trap hotels. That's how I know about the $50 a night hotels. I'm talking prostitutes, the drugs type of hotels, leaving her 3 children there while she went to go work. Or she, like, do you understand? Like, there's people, like, that's why I can speak on this stuff. I know a lot of this firsthand. She grocery shops at Dollar General or Dollar Tree.
My man got his hoodie up over there. He not trying to get nobody to get him on camera. You see him right there, right?
Yeah, and he's blurry.
Yeah.
But
so you're saying you had a friend that moved all throughout trap hotels. She was comfortable not having like no real place of residence.
She would move from trap hotel to trap hotel in Chamblee. No, not Chamblee, Norcross.
That's nasty. That's nasty.
But do you understand? And that's why I stopped being friends with her too, because I realized she was just using me. She only paid when we went out. She only paid maybe twice ever in the 15 years I knew her.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I paid for trips, everything. She would call me up and say, "My kids need food." I was basically a baby daddy. I'm like, "You have 3 baby daddies. Go ask them for some money."
Oh wow.
You have a bunch of grandparents for your children. Go ask them for money.
Nah.
She's the person that always asks for handouts. She only works at fast food restaurants. She can't keep a car. She's one of those people. So I'm like, I would tell her, go work at a software company, go work at the front desk, and then go learn what they do in the back. I would always tell her that shit.
She never wanted to do it.
Yeah. I didn't want her to come work with me because I'm like, you're not about to get me fired.
Yeah. She was comfortable being complacent.
Yeah, so it's like that's why the title of this video, I can't feel sorry. I can't feel sorry for them because they choose. It's like, it's okay if you need help for a little bit, but after years and years, after a decade, after 2 decades, when are you gonna get your life together?
You're saying why are you still needing government assistance after a decade? Like what's going on with you?
Yeah, or even if they live somewhere like this, why haven't you gotten your life together enough to do something? Because there's options. There's things you can do. Because I got myself out of bad situations. I had my child when I was 19. I got pregnant again when I was 20. Do you understand? I actually beat the odds. I was supposed to be like I had a single mother as a mom. You understand? We all have basically the same nigga story. It's how are you gonna deal with it? How are you gonna enjoy your life and do your life?
Are you going to sit there and be regular? Or are you actually going to pick up and take control of your own life? Or are you going to let the man hold you back? We got time for one more. We got time for one more before we get up out of here.
Yeah, and the thing is, I used to think that a man was holding me back. The man was holding me back until
What
I realized
man?
no one's holding me back.
What man? Who's the man? What man?
And no, I'm like, absolutely no one's holding me back but myself.
Mm.
Right? Here, yeah. Let's go to the next one because I kind of want to get into this baby boy stuff.
And we can get into that and then get on out of here because they're gonna hate that. I hate that movie. Now that you made me think about it.
Uh-oh. I kind of want to watch this, but it's 22 minutes, so I might have to watch it, clip it up. Oh, here we go.
If you're having trouble finding a rental you can afford.
This is 5 years ago.
Mm.
This is 2017. And I know exactly when I saw that sign, I'm like, not Metropolitan. I can't think of it. Dalo. It's off 166. I'm like, oh my God, I know my city so well.
Well, it's not just your imagination. Fox 5 I-Team's data file says Metro Atlanta has one of the highest eviction rates in the country. Wow.
Yeah, I'm telling you, just go into eviction court and you will see the face.
You know why? Because everyone wants to move here and be a rapper. So a lot of the women are taking care of men that don't want to work. So what's that? You know how many rappers I took care of in my house?
That's nasty. Not many rappers you took care of. Have I heard any of them?
No. These are people that are still pushing the same song from 10 years ago.
Exactly. Have they made it? Have I heard any of them?
No, you're not. And you're not.
All right, exactly.
Literally, almost everyone I dated was a rapper or designer or something, and they're still not. They're still couch surfing or living with their parents. But let's go.
Of families who are being told one after another they have 7 days to vacate and to find a new place to live. Now, a recent study by the Federal Reserve Board of Atlanta reveals, no, it is not because they are lazy. It is not because they won't work. It is a problem that working families have little control over.
Hold on.
This is what losing your...
Where are they working? Because if they work at Taco Bell, that's not working. That's
that is working, but it's not working, and it's not a good enough job to hold whatever residence that you have right there because everything costs money. So if you're working at Taco Bell just to say for the sake of telling somebody that you have a job, yet your finances don't match up to your living means, then
Yeah, because I understand even minimum wage when you take away taxes, that's probably like $4 or $5 an hour.
Trash.
And you're not even doing 40 hours a week. The first week you might do 30. The next week you're like, damn, they're cutting back my hours.
Trash.
How many times have you heard someone they're cutting back my hours?
And it always happens at an unexpected time. Trash.
No, I would see it happen after like 2 weeks.
Cutting back my hours. Oh man.
Bro. Southwest. See, I knew that was Southwest Atlanta.
Your home looks like. Your worldly belongings carried to the street, in the rain, for strangers.
Did she say worldly?
Yes, their worldly belongings.
Why did you have to use that adjective?
Hold on. Let me see what else happened when the sheriff got in there. And then they sent black sheriffs, black reporters to report on it.
Well, yeah, because we live in a not predominantly black city, but yeah, I don't think a white reporter would want to go to this area. Look at the furniture. You can tell this is poverty. This is not good quality items. I would never have any of this. See, another thing is you're poor, but this looks pretty new. Why are you buying stuff new? You need to thrift. That's a whole nother thing. I own a thrift shop. I got my sofa for $80. I'd be getting like $1,000 items for like $100. So a lot of our people, they have too much pride. They don't want to thrift. They have too much pride to thrift. And it's crazy. The more money I make, the more money I save.
You'd be surprised at how many people have just a problem with telling you that they're broke.
And the thing is, we can tell.
Oh my gosh. Batty, this is an important call that I've got, and I'm actually gonna have to slide here. I am so sorry. I am so
Well,
sorry.
bye. I'm gonna finish watching this, and then I'm gonna get off here too.
Okay. Hey, everybody, make sure y'all tap in with Batty and everything that she's doing. Make sure y'all follow me at Slaith_DiBiase on Twitter and IG. Look for me on We the People TV on YouTube. I'll come back up here and talk with Batty very, very, very shortly here. I hope she'll have me again. This was very, very fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Be easy, y'all.
Bye. Oh, how sweet. Okay, let's get back. Let's get back to the smoke. Right here. Here we go. But yeah, this is not good quality items. This is cheap as fuck. This is not even a solid wood desk. It's like plywood.
To rummage through. A new study says that in recent years, Atlanta has lost 5,000 affordable rental units.
You know why? Because they're pushing out the poor people. They renovated, so it's not like they tore those places down. They kicked the poor people out, renovated, and now it's probably like upscale lofts. So yeah, get with the times, or stuff like this happens to you. There's always construction. You drive around Atlanta or Georgia in general, there's always construction.
Those complexes often were torn down, replaced with high-end homes.
Well, there you go. So sometimes they renovate, sometimes they tear them down. Because actually, if it was low income, sometimes you can't renovate. I wanted to find this one video. Sometimes you just can't.
Homes.
You all will need to vacate your homes and apartments a week from today.
This is what losing your home feels like.
I'm sorry, I'm a little distraught right now.
24-year-old LaMarcia Dill, who works full-time, is getting evicted. This single mom is confused
I'm just standing here.
and outgunned by a landlord who brought a lawyer. This is the scene day in and day out at Fulton's dispossessory court. Working families, largely women, getting evicted. So what's the solution? Laura Raymond with the Atlanta Federal Reserve headed the study that takes a deep dive into why Atlanta sits near the top nationally for evictions.
22% of rental households in Fulton County receive an eviction notice or did receive an eviction notice in 2015.
That's 1 in 5 families who get notice they're getting kicked out. Today in Metro Atlanta, the working poor are too often spending more than 50% of their paycheck on rent.
Okay. So if you're spending 50% on your rent, you're already living above your means. I think the general rule is no more than 30%. If you want to be safe, 20%. But again, the thing is, the cheaper places they put in an area where you really don't want to live in, where the people don't vote, pay taxes, the schools are bad, the books are bad. It all goes hand in hand. The only solution is step your game up, go make some more money, instead of asking for handouts and complaining. Because that's exactly what I did.
Rent.
The ability of our clients to kind of survive always impresses me.
Michael Lucas of the Atlanta Volunteer Lawyers Foundation fights on behalf of tenants.
Families are stretched so thin to be able to make that rent every month that there's no margin of error.
You create your margin of error. You create it. This guy, he's a volunteer lawyer. So it really sounds like he's exploiting. He's another person that exploits Black people. And that's just his lane that he chose to go down, because you could have been a lawyer for something else, but I don't know. He has a bump on his head.
The getting less hours, just 1 week, it's your job, and you're facing eviction.
The problem has never been as clear as it is in Atlanta's Thomasville Heights Elementary School, where it has an annual 40% turnover rate. let's put a face on this because many of you are parents, and let's put ourselves in their position. Let's say you have a second grader and she's here and she's making new friends because she was in a different school.
My second grader will not be going to that school that looks like the county jail. I'm just saying.
School last year because her family had been evicted from their home. Well, the holidays come, things fall apart, and the family unfortunately is getting evicted again. This child has to make friends again because she has to go to a whole new school. Can you imagine?
Who cares? You know how many schools I went to? I went to like 12 different schools, a school every single year. It actually made me the person who I am today, very social. It actually builds you up, builds character. She's like, imagine your kid has to go to another school. I was one of those kids. And I make 6 figures now. What's their excuse?
It's not just an Atlanta problem, it's metro-wide. More and more landlords are investors who live out of state. And according to the study, they can be less likely to work with struggling renters.
I'm going to give them a money judgment for.
Exactly. That's just like I said earlier. The banks are buying up these houses and then renting them out. They're not even selling them. They're renting them out. You definitely have to have a certain credit score to go stay in a bank-owned rental. You definitely have to have a certain income. They can easily increase it. You do know they can easily increase it to like, you need to make 4 times the rent. I don't know if there's a law put into place where it has to be 3, but there's not that many laws already because you see there's squatters from Airbnb just going into people's houses. But yeah, I see this woman crying. Yes, they do make it hard on a lot of people, but step your game up and you won't have any issues. Then you won't be crying in a courtroom.
For $315, you'll need.
LaMarcia Doe got an eviction notice because she made a mistake. She paid rent, but she stopped paying her landlord for water.
I just stopped paying it because the water was coming out dirty and it was.
Okay. So you're in court crying because of that. You don't stop paying rent because stuff needs to be fixed. Remember on Martin, he was like, I'm not paying the $5 because he wouldn't fix it was only $5 increase. It was simulating or cosplaying. Niggas are so cheap. They will not pay an extra $5 a month in rent when their rent goes up because the landlord has to fix something. And that's not how it works. That's not a slumlord. A slumlord is there's no air conditioning if you live in the South, because I know on the West Coast there's really no air conditioning. Yeah, there's certain things that make a slumlord, but then you still have to do the proper process. When you don't do the proper process, stuff like this happens.
Was not even coming out in a consistent flow. It was just work some days, didn't work, go in and out in the middle of his showers.
Attorney Michael Lucas has some free legal advice. Don't stop paying your rent. Call code enforcement and document every discussion or agreement in texts or emails.
It's actually a great documentation. It's easy to kind of show that it's the back and forth of the conversation. And so use that.
Because starting over again and again is no way to live.
I don't have a place to go. I don't even know where to start.
A result of the tight housing market is that people are having to move into lower end places for a whole lot of money. And by lower end, I mean faulty utilities or mold, and they can barely afford this. When you need those things addressed by your landlord, I'm telling you, please get everything in writing. This can mean email or a text. And when you file a repair request, write it down. It doesn't have to be an ugly exchange, but maybe just a reconfirmation of your agreement with your landlord. You can use that in court. When I was in court, I saw the judge reading the texts over and over again.
So make sure you save those.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like this can get really
Okay. Oh my God. That is crazy. crazy. Not too crazy. It's just a phrase. Oh my God. I kind of wanted to see this one. Let me see.
A Clayton County man says he is desperate for help from the.
I want to see this one because it was a man on the thumbnail. I just want to see. This is Las Vegas area. Let's see.
Court system as he waits for a hearing in an eviction process.
He says it's been nearly a year since his tenant has paid rent, but there's nothing he can do until he finally goes before a judge. Fox 5's Eric Perry has the latest at the live desk.
Aretha Scogan says whenever he calls the court, he gets the same answer. The court's backed up because of COVID. He wanted to share his story because he feels there are other landlords in a similar situation.
Just fix the system. That's all. Get us in and please get us out.
Aretha Scogan says it's been nearly a year since his tenant has paid rent at this Clayton County property.
In excess of $10,000.
You can see they're also not cutting the grass. Like, how can I don't understand. How can you not pay rent for a year? I don't know. I don't get it. Because when Ducky, oh, is this the ghost of FBG Duck? I don't understand because when again, 4 days late, we're filing for eviction, you owe us $100. I don't understand this.
$1,500 is the amount of expenditures that the tenant would have. Is the amount of expenditure
County property.
In excess of $10,500 is the amount of expenditures that the tenant would have paid for rent at this location that I've lost.
Scogan's filed eviction paperwork with the Clayton County Magistrate Court December of 2021. And over 250 days later, he's still waiting.
My thing is, when you have people rent in your house, you have to have a vetting process. You have to vet them. And that's, look, even like for this next place I'm about to go rent, it was like I was signing a mortgage. They had to get income verification from my job. They had to see 3 months bank statements. They had to see 5 months of rental payment history. They had to see a lot of stuff that I never had to show before. So you need to vet these people, check their background. I had a background check, everything. I actually did 2 applications. So.
But they're running a year behind. And they said that because they're only operating now 3 days per week, opposed to previous 5 days, and a shortage of judges.
Chief Judge Keisha Wright-Hill sent a statement confirming the COVID pandemic created a massive backlog in the court. She says we have acquired federal funding to hire additional staff to specifically address any backlog due to COVID-19. She goes on to say we currently hold 3.
Don't live in Clayton County. Don't. The chief judge's name is Keisha. It's leaving Blackistan, so Clayton County is Blackistan. Do not live in Douglas County, Clayton County, South Fulton County, DeKalb County. Don't even live in Cobb County. Don't live in Atlanta at all. Just don't.
3 dispossessory calendars per week to address the cases that do not qualify for funds and require a hearing. The Clayton County Magistrate Court is working diligently to address all landlord-tenant cases in a manner that is both fair and efficient.
I love the judges. I love the county. I've been here over 25 years here in Clayton County. I don't plan on going anywhere. I just need assistance from the court.
The chief judge in Clayton County told me there are other resources through federal money to help landlords. We place more information on our website. At the
Thing is, they make it very hard. You have to apply to stuff. They make a lot of things hard for lots of people. Let me check some of the comments. I don't like that. It says, I bet if he physically kicked them out, he would get arrested. The system is a joke. Well, actually, I'm not going to like it because that's not a joke. You're not allowed to physically assault people. It says, this is wrong. Punish the hardworking people and reward the lazy freeloaders. Definitely liking that. I'm so sick of every business, particularly government entities, using crappy customer service. Yep, destroying the man's rental property. Bro. Wowzers. Let me see. Any fun stuff over here? Has to be rent related. Only like the first few are. Yeah, so that's my eviction show. I hope you enjoyed it. Back the blue. They save lives. They protect people. Hope you guys enjoyed my show. Can't wait to talk about the next topic. I can talk about anything. I have so many topics I can talk about. Enjoy your night. It's been real. It's been true. I'm not new to this. I am true to this. Batty.